G'day everyone, welcome to TF Live. We are bringing you tonight the ozfortress Season 27 semi-final of the Premier Division. With me tonight is Michael on co-caster and Core on production. How are you going tonight, Michael?
Yeah, I'm going well. Keen to see two very strong teams play against each other in this best of three for a spot in the grand final. I'm excited. We got some good maps coming through here.
Yeah, some really good TF2. This season has actually been pretty close towards the top end of Prem in ozfortress. I've been pretty keen to see how these two face off against each other. Speaking of these two teams, do you want to start talking about some of these rosters here, Michael?
Yeah, I'll bring us down the Happy Feet roster to start off with. If you're not familiar with these guys, you're going to have Aisho and Elmo on the Scouts. You're going to have Down on Roma, Yule on Pocket, Redcoat, Zygote on Demo Man, and Lau on Medic. Very stacked roster. The core of that roster over the past year has taken every season, 24, 25, and 26 for the core of that roster. So looking for their spot back in the grand final after losing the butterfly effect last week, and they're going to want it back.
I was going to say this is the winning team of the last few seasons, but they did get knocked down to this semi-final now after the upper page playoffs last week against Butterfly Effect, which is I saw it as quite an upset, but it was actually a 2-0 in what was a pretty clean game from Butterfly Effect from what I saw watching it. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what this team has kind of changed up into this map to hopefully secure their spot in the semi-final, in the grand final even. But that being said, I guess I will talk about the other roster that you'll be seeing tonight, which is No Older Gamers, or NoG for short. They are going to be Cookie and Silvo on your Scouts, Hertz and Doge playing Roma and Pocket, and then Enrith playing Demo with Locke back up on his medic class there. Again, another team that has been playing together on and off with various sort of changes to their roster over the last few seasons. They've placed pretty well from what I have seen. But yeah, I'm keen to see how these two match up against each other. What do you reckon is going to happen tonight, Michael?
Yeah, look, I think historically, you think of these two groups of players and you're thinking grand final match, right? Like, especially last season was pretty much these two core rosters against each other. But now, one of them will get third place. The other one will go to the grand final to play Butterfly Effect. I'm really keen. These guys know each other both on their own teams and on the other teams like the back of their hand. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of borderline miracles come out for whoever's going to win here, because they're going to need it.
Yeah, I'm anticipating a really close game tonight, and I think one of the things that's going to play into that quite a lot, is our maps picked and banned before. We were just sort of sitting in here while the pick and bans were happening just before. Do you want to talk us through some of the picks and bans that have just been happening, Michael?
Yeah, we've got teams nearly ready to play, so I'll just cover the picks. Basically, what it ended up being was Happy Feet picking Gully Wash as the first map, No Older Gamers picking Granary for the second map, and Happy Feet going to Snake Water for the final map. The maps being banned were Product, Bagel, Sunshine, and Process in that order. And yeah, I think we've got, some really staple maps, right? You've got Gully Wash, Snake Water, vanilla maps in the game, been played for years, and Granary kind of been in and out. And this Pro RC8 version that was released a little while ago is kind of what everyone has decided is, at this point, the best version of Granary to play competitively. And it's good enough to be picked in a grand final. So, well, not a grand final, this is a semi-final.
Yeah, we're both doing it now. But yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting to see some of these bans come out, because of course bans do happen first before the picks, and instantly both teams do ban both of the Koth maps on the map pool this season. Do you think that has to do with historically the way these two teams have played on those maps, or is it more not wanting to take that wild card Koth activity into our semi-finals? Because of course the outcome of this is quite important to both of these two teams.
Yeah, definitely. I think the product ban on the side of Happy Feet, it was definitely more of a comfort decision, right? They've been banning it for a little while. They banned it last week in their game against Happy Feet. No, they're Happy Feet. God. I'm a mess tonight. They banned it against Butterfly Effect last week. I have a feeling they're maybe just not as confident on the map as these other top teams. Whereas NoG is probably just looking to take out Bagel just because it's an unknown, as we are going to get underway.
Yeah, and here we are rolling out to the first map of our best of 3 semifinals for ozfortress Season 27. This is NoG versus Happy Feet, and our first map tonight is Granary. Who are you... sorry, no, it isn't. Gullywash. Who are you watching on this first mid, Michael?
Oh, mate, you know me. I always like to see the demo man, and you've got both of them.
Down! I'm going to interrupt you immediately. Down goes super fast. Instantly takes Lock out of the very first mid. Absolute crushing play from Down, and hits that really, really fast Riot rollout. And it does look like, despite the fact that Lock goes down, his team does unfortunately get bullied out, and Lau stays alive, which is so key for him there. And they do just build this Uber up on their second point after having that mid fall, and they're going to repush this on Uber ad. So sorry for interrupting you immediately, Michael. How's about you tell us what you were going to say just before?
God, no, look, like, I mean, he had both demos doing the exact same thing, but, I mean, you know, within the first 20 seconds of the game, as I mentioned before, borderline miracles. We will not see Down pull something like that off again. Lock will have his head in the game after this, as you're going to see Lock and his team having to pull back a bit, having Hertz in position to sack, as, yeah, Enrith will die as well.
Down and Yule combining for an Enrith pick too. That is not what blue team wanted here, as the demo man does get taken out. Looks like there's a soldier bombing fast, seeing if he can get red coat here, but he does ultimately die, as they still have not popped Uber, and this is translated into a free second point heading into our even Uber's last stalemate now, as Lock finally comes up on the first Uber of his game. The soldier is coming in, 2 crisp rockets onto Lock, forces him down, and that is the Uber popped out of Lock here. Lau way safe in big door area, not even in any danger, and this is yet another fantastic situation engineered by the soldiers on red team. That was Yule, I believe, jumping in there, and now we have a full ad last push so quickly on Gullywash here, Michael.
Yeah, Yule just being a step ahead of the game there. Like, even before his team had even like started capping second, he was going downriver underneath the point and got the freest bomb of his life onto Lock. As they cleaned up Hertz on the spy, didn't get a lot done, and they're going to look to use this Uber in from the balcony position. Red Code and Aisho being brought in with this Uber, as you'll see the gun to go down immediately, along with Cookie, with the NoG just being forced into there. Spawn, the Heavy, and the Soldier both going down quickly. Enrith trying to go up the other side to deal some damage, and with Hertz, he will combine for a kill. Enrith being left quite low, though, with the Demo Man and Scout. Trying to clean him up, they will, and it'll be a fight on the point, as NoG are going to have the advantage in this one, with Hertz being able to deal that splash damage. Elmo will look for a consolation.
Doesn't quite go down. That was so nearly Red's last push to win there. Some really nice arrows from Lau, keeping Elmo into the fight right until the end. A little bit of a misplay, I think, just holding his Ubersaur out on the point, trying to body block it out there when he should have just been doing the exact same thing while healing, I think. They both ultimately go down. Lock is now up on his full Uber, as they have capped their own second and are now walking towards the middle point here, Michael.
Yeah, I think that's just like really clutch plays by Hertz there. Honestly, that positioning, he kind of baited Enrith a little bit, but it worked out in the end, so you can't be too mad about it. As you're going to see Down, he's trying to make a play. He'll need to get narrow, but hey, Doge will actually get dropped during the throughout the choke, as Lock gets forced, and Lau is very safe. They'll lose both of their soldiers on the side of Happy Feet, but they'll be happy for that. They'll probably look to rotate up to the upper area to keep an eye over second, as they're going to be sitting on 80%, so they don't want to get caught out on that low ground. As you're going to see Happy Feet Happy Feet are going to back up, and NoG are going to barrel through the choke, but Happy Feet coming up on their Uber now are actually going to look at bringing it through.
Really nice play actually from the flank of Hertz's team here. NoG here, when they pushed the flank, knowing that they were 2 soldiers down and getting that weak player sort of isolated behind. Unfortunately, they do both get cleaned up by the 2 soldiers that do spawn in. Down and Aisho both still dead, however, but now the spawns are coming in. Little bit of ad on the side of Lock right now. Looks like they're going to try to muscle this through while they are players down. The stickies haven't been dead. Yule is doing quite a lot of damage. Unfortunately, no frags going his way as he is forced to back out there, and they are now just muscling through some really nice living here on the side of Locke as he is just baiting his team through the choke, hitting some arrows, getting them all through, and that's a soldier and a demo rather, both dying for the force and nothing going. Hopefully these Ubers will even up, but they are forcing their way into last. The Uber is used. Sticky's on the point from the demo man, and that is Cookie standing there, and they do cap it. This is a really big reversal from what we saw in this mid-fight, Michael.
Yeah, huge. Locke going down really early there, kind of, you know, led us to believe that Happy Feet might have had that round in the bag, but no. NoG turning it around, playing really well, and I want to see how Locke is going to play on this mid. Yeah, the threat of down is surely there as he does go in fast, but Locke this time, he's just going to run through. He'll eat a bit of damage, but I think he'll be fine with that, as Lau does as well.
Yeah, it's actually Lau that gets taken down super low this mid. Unfortunately, his frag doesn't fall, and there's some nice arrows from him keeping his team in the fight. And this sicko mode, who I believe is Silvo, I think does just get taken out there, unfortunately. Cookie dying as well. Locke and Enrith forced to flee with their tail between their legs, as a little bit of an uncoordinated mid coming up from them does cost them that fight.
Yeah, definitely. That soldier aggression from NoG, definitely, it felt a little bit clunky. I could definitely see what they were going for there, but I think Happy Feet just had a really good read on it. Quite possibly just used to the bombs. As Lau, he doesn't even want to look at Hertz bombing in here. He'll just focus on healing his players up. You will die to all of the spam, but I think they'll be fine with that for a counter sack. As we're going to see a little bit of stalemating here on second as Happy Feet, they're going to try and force the issue rotating to the other big door, try and bring some players around and free up choke a little bit for down. But no, we're just going to sit here demonstrating spam, the normal gully wash stuff.
Yeah, and it looks like this is actually a very smart play for them to both try to push the flank while their soldiers are down. Unfortunately, they all spawn up here, and it looks like it's just resetting. Yeah, it does look like the Demo Man and the Medic are playing a little bit further back on the side of Red Team right now. And they do just seem to be exchanging spam through this big door area. Nothing really committed from either team right now. Looks like some soldiers getting a buff. Is it? No, he is not. It is actually Redcoat taking a whole bunch of damage, being rushed down in the big door area by Silvo there, and Elmo losing his life behind as well. That's two very, very quick picks onto the Red Team there, and now the Hertz team is pushing through choke really, really quickly on these two quick picks, and they're taking mid without any Ubers being taken on either side, and that is a excellent ring being fought in game
Happy anniversary, love. That's some good stuff. So yeah, we've got NoG taking the midpoint here. Even Ubers just Happy Feet making the right decision. They're just backing all the way out the moment those two players died, and I think they'll possibly look to push through here. As NoG's actually managed to slip two players into Happy Feet's lobby. Forcing, I believe that is Elmo all the way back. Yeah, Elmo's going to fall and actually die on last to Hertz and Silvo. So
this is what I love to see from the Hertz team. Yeah, the coordination between these two players on the flank. Hertz actually does get taken out by down, but only just. Silvo is still behind, causing some havoc here, causing a lot of eyes to face towards him. Down looks like he's going to have to go back down, and Elmo, and Aisho rather, are going back for him. He's actually playing underneath here, trying to cheese a whole bunch of people. He has brought 3 people back onto the last. Down is doing his best. There's so many people coming back to fight him right now. This is the opening that you want if you are on the blue team. Looks like no one is going for it right now. Hertz has got his buff, might jump through this choke. He does, but Yule is actually losing that fight to Hertz there. He was doing a little bit of a... oh no, but actually that being said, Doge is in on top of Lau. 2 nice splash rockets. He's still alive. No, but Hertz comes in too, and the Uber does get forced out of Lau. Hertz looks like he's going to live. No, he doesn't. Gets cleaned up by Aisho in the choke there. Aisho looks like he's overextended just a little bit. He wins the fight against Cookie. That is absolutely massive, as he is now bringing so many people down. Locke kills him with an arrow in the very end there, but that fight is actually worked out in the favor of Happy Feet there, as they do manage to come out on top of that really interesting series of exchanges, Michael.
Yeah, definitely. I think it kind of took NoG a little bit of time to realize the opening. They were trying to play off of the fact that Silvo was behind, but because that meant that Happy Feet were right next to Big Door and NoG were also trying to push Big Door, they were just kind of met with the other combo, so it let Hertz go through, take that buff through choke, and then get the force off Down's play.
Elmo beef. They do use on the Demo Man through lobby though, as their full Uber ad has now come into play. Looks like they are unfortunately not able to get into the last point though, and that Uber does get used unfortunately for very, very little benefit there, as it is now big ad on the side of Lau. Hertz going in, seeing if he can get a sack. Cookie actually playing the point, does die too. Unfortunately, that gun does clean up Hertz. I think that distraction bomb and the point play at the same time is a really smart play on this map in particular.
You got Silver coming up behind. Silver's going to make a play for last. Down. Oh no, Down will kill himself! Down got too close and killed himself. Silver's on 5 health, and that's a second round going to NoG.
That is not what you want to have happen in the semi-finals right now. Oh no, Silvo taunting on the point on 5 health. After that, there was some series of large beefs from quite a few players on Happy Feet there. As we do head into this mid now, Down is doing the same bomb that he did. Lock is actually taken down super, super low. Down lives here, but Lock is still alive, ready to heal his team. And the spam is now coming in. Lock is in quite a lot of danger. Down is coming in to finish the job. He does get cleaned up now. Yule doing the same kind of bomb here. Down, and the Demo Man actually still down on the side of Red Team. And it's all falling apart for Happy Feet right now. Lau gonna die in his own choke. Lock does get taken out by Yule, which is a nice silver lining for them there, but it is only Elmo living at the very, very end of that fight for Happy Feet, Michael.
Yeah, I think Elmo, he's going to try and make something happen here. I don't think that they can contest second really well. Elmo, he might try and hide here and see if Block comes his way. Although no, he's decided to get out of his little corner.
Yeah, he's just poking for information at the moment, I feel. Looks like he's going to try to take something Mimi behind. Yeah, looks like he is trying to fight in their elbow. Yeah, he's been seen. Cookie is going for that. He should run. He doesn't even choose to run lower, actually. He does just run straight back into his medic, who is now holding that choke area. One player down on each team. Hertz looks like he is up on Spy right now. Has he committed out of spawn? Oh, Lock is actually on crits as well right now. This is a really interesting play. They're building up their crits ad as well. Looks like they can catch Lau unawares, as I don't think they are aware that this crits is up in play right now. The crits is used through Big Door. Oh, the bomb comes in. Oh, and Hertz comes in for the stab at exactly the same time, and that's the Demo Man down. Unfortunately, no frags coming out from this crits, as the Roma special. Nice shot from Doge to take down on the flank there, but it looks like finally the Uber gets used. Yule is flashed in on that with that, and they're finally collapsing on the Big Door players here, but it's Lock is getting out to build his crits another day. Hertz does die on the Spy class at the very end of that fight too, but it looks like this mid is going to fall towards Happy Feet here, Michael.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't even see the crits, honestly. Like, I saw the combo go Big Door, and I think I saw maybe one scattergun shot get fired with the crits, but they just did not get onto Lau at all. In fact, they had plenty of opportunity even after their crits faded, but just really good soldier control by Happy Feet outside of the Big Door there, and Hertz going for the pick. I mean, that's the pick he was realistically going to get. Lau was really in the open. They're covered by his team.
And here is the flank pushing really, really aggressive, as their crits is actually used in choke, but Yule and Elmo both combining for some really, really big frags. Looks like, yeah, that is almost a complete wipe. Just Silvo, and he can do nothing against the flank there, and that is a really textbook counter crits play right there. Despite the aggression on the flank trying to distract a little bit, that counter crits play was really, really excellent from Happy Feet, as it resets them into a full ad push onto the enemy team's last. And the Uber is actually used through Shutter right now. Doge taken down right now, and it looks like Hertz is going to lose his life in the secret area. Brass Beast Heavy getting spammed down, but of course the crossbow exists, and he absolutely mulches down. Lau gets taken out by Cookie too. The crossbow is doing so much, but it's not enough, and the first round for Happy Feet comes onto the board. 2-1 here, Michael.
That Pudis is a scary class. He was just, he's standing still, Brass Beast, arrows for days, and he gets 3 kills. Honestly, nearly a 4th. That was just ridiculous defense by Cookie, but Happy Feet finally getting onto the board, and down really fast bomb.
Yeah, he does get some damage onto Lock, but that's all he gets. Down and Elmo both dying. Aisho and Yule clean up 2 players on the other team in quick response here. And it does look like 1 player ad on the side of Hertz's team, and they are just trying to muscle this out. Yeah, it does look like Lau has opted to back out with his scout and his demo right now, and that mid does fall very, very quickly to NoG here.
Yeah, definitely Happy Feet. Yeah, I think they're playing it I don't know, they're not playing this game to win, right? Like, sure, you're at a one-player disadvantage there. Realistically, you know, you're not going to win that trade. But I think just they're so eager to back out, it almost seems, in these situations. Like, you know, being around down, you're 15 minutes into the game right now, and NoG has been, honestly, playing the better team fights here, and this is Happy Feet's pick. I think they really need to be looking at pushing things.
Speaking of team fights, they are up on the sniper. They're pushing their own sniper through the big door area now. There's just some stickies in there, but he's in a really good location. Does get actually taken down by Down as he pushes through the baby door area, and they are forced to back off. Silvo, unfortunately, getting nothing done on the sniper class there. As we do see a reset, hopefully, yeah, it looks like Yule is trying to get in for a counter sack. No, he chooses to back out and live here. I think that was the right decision from him, as Down is indeed trying to get some fighting happening on the flank. Doge takes his arrow, and it does look like they are opting to play a little bit passive here, as just damage getting spammed. Silvo opting to respawn on the sniper, and it looks like just a fat reset to what we had, a flat reset rather, to what we had before, Michael.
Yeah, I think Yule actually, as Down falls to the sniper, Silvo's come up on it again, and you're going to see Happy Feet respond immediately. Oh, Aisho. Good night, buddy, as that's going to be the Uber charge coming in from NoG. They're going to try and force something out here, but this has actually been a solo on the Redcoat here. NoG has to watch out. Locke might get caught in a bad position, as yeah, he will fall immediately, and Lau and Redcoat are just going to duck out baby door. They're going to be in last, and this is going to be a considerable Uber advantage for Happy Feet.
Yeah, I feel that that wasn't actually too bad of a situation to be in if you were the blue team there. Despite your med and sniper going down there, you did get that second point, and you can do exactly what I'm seeing here, and you can mong onto the players now while they have player advantage. Does look like, unfortunately, they get nothing out of it now, and they are forced to back out, and now this Uber ad is going to come into play from Lau. I think they are actually getting out on second with absolutely no pressure onto Lau right now. And the scouts are all just standing on that point to cap it up as quickly as possible. And Lau is coming up to his Uber now. It's interesting that they didn't even try to sack a player onto Lau just then. I guess they felt that that being the lower percentage play when they're one round up, they don't want to give anyone any chances. But speaking of, that is Doge losing his life to Yule, spamming his rockets through the drop down area, it looks like. Cookie gets taken down very, very low too, and they are respecting this Uber advantage so much. From what is this team? Happy Feet right now, as Yule is jumping through, seeing if he can get onto the medic here. They do trade through this choke area. This is much better for NoG, as they are not even in any danger right now. They're walking all the way through. The collapse comes in, and the force does come out. Down does die in the very end there. Only Doge and Down losing their life as the soldiers do trade for that force. Elmo is a really late death here. That could signal them rolling over second right now, Michael.
Yeah, I think Lau being in that situation, I don't know exactly what was happening with him. I was watching the Uber a bit too closely, but these Ubers are practically even, only about 11% into it, and NoG are going to look at taking that right in, getting Aisho, getting Redcoat. Lau's going to have to fall into his own choke with Yule, but with Doge coming in from the spawn, that's just going to be, yeah, an utter mincing of Happy Feet there. And this is going to be, yeah.
Yeah, excellent play from them there as they sort of scissor them through the choke. Some really nice DM from the scouts coming in, as I believe it was Aisho that got two-shot and completely owned by, I didn't see which scout, probably Silvo, to be honest. Got absolutely farmed, and then they just rolled in as all the aggression came through, pincering the medic into a really late death into their own choke. The Ubers are up now. Looks like it's going to push through the lower main area. Cookie doing a lot of damage towards Redcoat, actually killing Redcoat, dying at the very end. This heavy play is coming into effect, and it's doing so much damage against these soldiers. Yeah, and the heavy is doing so much. Lau just pumping all of the heals into Elmo, coming up on his main and absolutely cleaning up. These heavies are doing so much on these last holds, Michael.
It's really the best class, Xander. Like, it's not even close, you know? Like,
heavy main speaking right now.
Oh, what do you even need? Big fat Russian man with a big gun. It's $200,000 a second to fire that gun, I'll have you know. You're gonna have
Don't run, it's just ham.
Oh, I'm only running if there's ham.
The
Silver.
soldier is in on Lau. Some really nice rockets, actually, but Lau moving really well to dodge those. 2 down on the side of NoG as this midpoint is falling to Lau's full Uberad. Sacking 2 didn't work out for them, unfortunately. Down and Hertz. Oh, that rocket was so close from Hertz just there. Hertz is in the choke, seeing if he can get some plays onto, looks like the scout on mid. He does opts to back out and just live in the choke there. Scouts are playing to pick up there, and the gun actually dies. And it looks like, yeah, the Uber has traded in onto last while I was watching players behind. And there's so many people down. Hertz so low behind, can't do anything. But he is stopping the point being capped. That is huge from Hertz. It does give time for the spawners to come in, and Cookie is up, but it's too little too late. He can't do anything. Down wins the fight, and that is now evened up to all with 10 minutes left, Michael. This map is a nail-biter.
Oh no, Lock left on 96%. Raz's scout just ran out the door and died to Yul there. Hertz doing his best to try and save the round there, but he was not enough in the 2v3. So, I mean, look, you've got another really aggressive bomb coming out from Down. He'll decide to pull back a little bit. It's actually Hertz. Really nice bomb with the red coat there. Down will clean him up, but that's putting Happy Feet at an immediate disadvantage. Down and Yul with a nice double bomb in, trying to compensate for it. Yul will get caught on the railing there. He'll be the next death. As, yeah, Down's going to fall as well, and that's going to be Lau and Aisho backing through choke. Elmo covering the rear through the big door, and a very convincing mid coming out from NoG there.
Yeah, it just looked like the soldiers from Red Team, unfortunately, were not getting anything done. There was a lot of damage coming out from them, but unfortunately... Oh my god! Lock goes down! Elmo gets 2! That is some quality Elmo coming out. Old Elmo in the chat there. He does hit some absolutely critical frags for his team, and the full ad on Lau is just now working its way through their choke onto mid. Still no heals. Lock only now spawning up with Cookie. Elmo does die, but I think he's done enough for his team right now as the point is now being played. Just some spam from Enrith, but unfortunately that's all they can do as they opt to reset to hold their second right now. Looks like there is a back cap attempt coming in right now. Oh yeah, 2 soldiers go down. Hertz and Doge both die in the back lines there, but the force does come out from Lau. Unfortunately, they don't get to use this Uber to get this second for free. They do unfortunately use it on mid. The soldiers are just now spawning up here, and it's resetting into being a nice ad for Lock. How would you like to see them push out of their own last here, Michael?
I think they're probably going to do just, yeah, straight out river push. You've got both scouts and a soldier meeting up there now, and they're just looking to get really aggressive, leaving Lock a bit further back. Down will go down early.
But they are monging for the back cap. The Uber is actually coming in. There's so much damage. Hertz finally actually coming in the back line. That was really, really interesting play. They did all commit really hard to the back cap play, but the Uber just caught them all out, being pincered by Hertz as well on the last point. Some spawns in the forward spawn. It looks like Down and Lau both get forwards. They're not really together right now. Their Down has to jump back. And now there's other spawns are coming in. And we do see Elmo on Sniper, seeing if he can make something happen in the big door area, it looks, Michael.
Oh, Lock is standing still, and Elmo will just get the full charge body shot. I had no idea that was coming. Elmo, one of the most free shots he will get this year. And it's only
Doge going down as well.
God damn,
and a
headshot
ringing out as well. That's some really nice play by the sniper there. Soldiers in. Hertz unfortunately gets nothing done. Lots of damage onto Down, but nothing on Lau.
Wow, this Elmo sniper really opening it up, and he will stay on it. He's going to look to actually play within his combo a bit here, pushing through choke.
Doge is sniping from forward spawn right now as well.
Oh,
He's definitely been seen. He does opt to back spawn there. They are just going to keep the eyes on it just in case he hasn't. But this Uber is now coming up in still enough ad for them to push last here. Pyro and Engineer are both up on the side of NoG right now. Looks like they're going to try to push it through the shutter, I think. Looks like Aisho is really poking there. They see the Pyro though, and they opt to drop Elmo, ? Instead of that. Redcoat is actually taken down very low. Cookie and Hertz both lose their lives. Now the Uber is coming in through main. It looks like point is being played. Aisho gets absolutely mulched. Ubers are now even. It looks like they threw away their chance. I think they must not have realized that they had that much ad. They must have thought that it had evened out before then, and they'd just gone for a couple of sacks. What do you reckon, Michael?
I don't know that. I mean, Elmo was left alone to cap the point, and Happy Feet were really eager to push in. A lot of their players sitting in lobby just kind of letting Elmo die on that second point. But you've got, Hertz coming up on the spy. Elmo is back up on the sniper, and Hertz, he's threading the needle here. But he will uncloak
he goes right in front of Aisho. Oh, that's such bad luck.
Oh dear God, he's just, he gets caught out.
And Elmo's still on the sniper here, gets Doge in, as it looks like the gun is actually going to get spammed down by the demo man and the soldier there. Point is being played. This is absolutely huge. The Uber comes in to save the players on point as well. This is a much, much better trade for Red Team right now, as they have so much time on point. Blue Team run off the point. 3-2 in the favor of Happy Feet right now. What changes on this mid? What do you do if you want to bring this back in 5 minutes, Michael?
I don't know, it's 5 minutes. I think 5 minutes has been about how long each round has been, with 25 minutes down, 5 rounds in. And I mean, look, neither of these teams looks like they can really take a much faster round. There's been a lot of pressure put on the Enrith. He will fall, trading his life for down, but lock, oh no!
That's absolutely huge from the soldiers, but they are collapsing so well onto Happy Feet. Happy Feet are forced to back out. Looks like they're going to try to keep Lau alive and play their ad, which is definitely the higher percentage play right now. Soldiers coming in absolutely huge for Happy Feet just there, as their bomb is finally successful. Yule and Down both going super deep here. The spawns are now up. The Uber is pretty damn close on the side of Lau right now, and they're going to try to muscle this in through. Looks like their choke area. Gonna have to bust through these stickies from the demo man of Enrith though as well, and the flank looks like they're up to something a little bit sneaky on the side of blue team as well, as it looks like drop down is being played by Yule right now, and the team is finally busting through the choke. Yule jumping actually big door, spotting these two players in Hertz, and he cleans up both of them in the big door. That is absolutely huge. Down and Yule both combining for some excellent frags on the flank right there. Uber is up on both teams right now, as mid does finally fall to Happy Feet, and we see a stalemate situation evolving onto second right now, Michael.
Yeah, I know. I think you needed to get the sack out there on NoG. They do the double player sack. They only lose mid for it, so it's, at the end of the day, not a massive disadvantage. They've put themselves in here. 3.5 minutes left, being down 1. I think they really need to look at playing for the golden cap. They'll just muscle Cookie through the choke. Something he's certainly no stranger to, but Aisho and Redcoat will retaliate up until the choke, because stickies are scary and they don't want to die. Because at this point, they don't need to make a mistake.
Yeah, they are not taking their chances right now, as they are 1 round up. They're not giving anyone an opportunity here, as they all opt to just sit down and play safe, grind these Ubers back up again, as they are as dead even as you can expect in this game right now. No off classes from each team, as no one died in that Uber trade. No one's been given an opportunity to come up something different. The grind is coming up to about halfway right now. What do you think blue team need to do in this stalemate in order to bring this home, Michael?
I think they need to keep grinding this, and they need to dot push from big door hard. Cookie let up a little bit on the grinding, and the actually Uber advantage by minimal margins has ended up in favor of NoG. No, it ended up Happy Feet just getting Uber beforehand.
Pretty much dead even, I'd say there.
Yeah, I know. If they had grinded that a little bit harder, Happy Feet weren't doing a brilliant job themselves. They could have tried to catch them off guard, as they'll just do the exact same thing again. Cookie's going to get soloed, but Locker's going to be a lot slower this time. 20%, he's fading. He'll be on the low ground in front of Big Door.
Doge is in. Woo! This is a really well-synced play actually coming in from Doge, but all of the frags are falling. The buffed scouts and the demo man are actually doing so much. It's just Enrith running away. Redcoat is trying to sticky up that spawn. Aishu is chasing, and so is Redcoat. That's Enrith dying. That is such a big play. Everyone pretty much wiping. Just a super late death on Enrith there, which may spell the end of their last here. Looks like this is a really, really commanding position to be in if you are Happy Feet, Michael.
Yeah, I think they're going to be loving this. 1.5 minutes left. Even Ubers, like, they don't even want advantage here. They just want it to be at best even. And they'll have it, NoG, they'll push out, 1:20 left, even Ubers, like I said,
yeah,
actually
Down
Down's
up on middle from Down. This Putus is really going to slow them down before these Ubers even come into play. Hertz is jumping really, really deep. The Soldier is actually above too. He's focusing the Heavy down instead. Enrith getting piped down by Redcoat as well. This looks like we're entering dead time as these players are all feeding in, and that Heavy is just completely shutting down any Soldier aggression that NoG wanted to get out there. The Heavy is going to actually give them a chance to push this last. 53 seconds left. I think they're going to wait until they have some kind of meme play set up, but the Uber is coming in and they're going for the trade. It looks like the trade is going to come out better on the side of Red Team, as it is just Cookie behind, causing as much mayhem as he can. Down does get focused down. Cookie is losing actually this duel. Oh, but the back cap, oh.
He just waddles slowly.
Oh no, and that I think does officially spell us into dead time with about 20 seconds left on the timer. It looks like 4-2 to Happy Feet is the final score on our board in what was such a close game for basically the entire duration, down to the last 30 seconds here, Michael. That was some fantastic TF2.
Definitely. I think it had everything, right? It had the stalemate. We had some time to relax during it, but also just the plays, they don't stop coming. Even in the final 30 seconds, you've got Yule just waddling below point for a back cap that he should not have had at all. You know, Happy Feet, they were content with just sitting there. They waited for the Uber to be pushed out of last by NoG. They just soloed the Heavy on second, but Yule, he wanted to finish the game with a little bit of style. As yeah, just, I don't know, really solid team play coming out from Happy Feet there. They were down 2-0 in the first 10 minutes, and they brought it back in the remainder of the game, 4 rounds straight. And they lost, actually, I just realized, they lost every mid of the rounds that they won. They only won 1 mid in that game, which was the second round.
I feel that that's because the Soldiers were coming in and cleaning up Lock basically every mid, like either down on the very first mid, jumping in super fast. Yule coming in as well, going behind, even doing the same rollout, I think, and catching Lock in the elbow area too. Like every single mid that they lost, they repushed and won successfully because they kept Lau alive. And Lau was just in the right spot way more often. It felt like Lock got caught out just that little bit more. Lau being protected by his team just that little bit better, backing off when he needed to, and staying alive in these fights was just so clutch. I think there were only 1 or 2 situations where Lau actually got caught out. And that was when his entire team was already dead. Like, I think Lau's medic play and the way they played around him there really brought that home for their team. Of course, there was some big plays being made by Elmo in particular, coming in absolutely clutch in several different occasions for Happy Feet there. Elmo showing that he's still got it in his like 20th season of ozfortress or something like that. But we do have some logs up here. Do you have anything that stands out for you in these logs, Michael?
I think the fact that Cookie got the most heals on his team. I mean, it was by, I would imagine, about 400. He got 400 heals more than Enrith, getting 26% of his team's heals. I feel like that's just... It's not the wrong way to play Gully Watch, but I feel like it's a very different way than almost every team is taking right now. And I think, you know, you could definitely see it towards the end. There's limitations to, you know, how flexible they want to get with it and how flexible they can get with it when they build it around this Cookie scout. You noticed at the end when they were behind, they needed to just take those Ubers in, and they just ran Cookie through a choke twice, not being able to cover any ground and just meeting even Ubers. You know, I feel like that's something that they need to change.
Yeah, I felt that they just wanted to take that Cookie trade and butt heads and just hope that their post fight was better afterwards, but it really didn't end up working for them, like, at all. It felt like the fights, the post Uber fights, almost always didn't go their way, and most of that was just the heals, as you say, being pumped into the scout, leaving no one else really healthy enough to fight the post. I feel that a heal heavy scout is obviously the meta right now, and I don't think that it's necessarily bad that they healed the scout that much, because of course they're building and all that kind of stuff, but it just I think it took some heals off the Soldiers, and you just saw the plays being made by Down and Yule, I feel, working way more often than the plays being made by Hertz and Doge. Like, I just felt that Doge, I think, successfully forced Lau twice or once maybe, but it was just every single mid Lock dying to these 2 Soldiers that were just so aggressive. Like there was like almost not a mid that he didn't die on. Like he died just, I think 9 times on the logs there compared to 6 for Lau. Like I think that really is what made the difference there. The soldier aggression on the mid just working out for them. Now, is there anything else that you want to talk about with these logs before we move on to our second map of this best of 3, Michael?
Mainly just one thing I want to add it on at the end. I don't think the amount of heals that they're giving Cookie is necessarily wrong. I feel like it's just when they're giving him these heals, right? Typically, the reason why Scout is so strong right now, you can go in with your soldiers, with your demo at the start of the fight, get them to do a lot of damage from the sky, and then you're just going to get your 2 185 health scouts and chariot them into the other team, and just hope that they meat shot everything in front of them. And Cookie is capable of doing that, as he's shown the past year. Winning every season he's played in the past year, doing exactly that. So I don't know,
Yeah.
I think he's getting heals really early in the fights, which they can use, but they need to utilize these other players in these early stages of the fight, because they just don't have players ready to clean up off of any damage that Cookie can do.
Yeah, and I think it's definitely, like, if you compare him to Aisho and Elmo, he outdamaged both of them there. But I think, like, actually, to be honest, it's looking like if you look at the Silvo stats, Silvo is not showing up this game. We do actually have the ready up on our second map, though. This is Granary. How do you reckon these mids are going to play with the soldier aggression that we've been talking about, Michael?
I think it's going to largely rely on not how well the soldiers bomb, because it's Granary. If they want to bomb someone, they can bomb someone. It's going to be a matter of how well the medics and demo men position themselves when the soldiers of the other teams are ready to bomb. As we do have Enrith and Redcoat trading spam quite early, and Enrith getting the better of it with a really high bomb coming out from Doji. He's actually going to land on the lamp right above Lau, and Doge, he dies for it, but Lau is completely out of this fight, and that is going to let NoG just clean up with their heals, and we're again going to see Aisho, Lau, and Redcoat backing out of a mid with their medic alive.
Yeah, I feel that if Elmo hadn't died there, they would have probably stayed to recontest just that little bit longer. But it looks like their red team here is not waiting for their spawns at all, as they are muscling this through the garage area already. They do choose to stand down, though, as the spawns come in for both teams. Hertz is actually up on Sniper right now. This is not something that you'd often see on this map, as it is normally quite close, but they've opened up the sightlines in this second, mid to second stalemate quite a lot. And it does seem like it's going to be a little bit more effective, as he can actually stand really, really far back in this garage and get a really nice angle. Looks like it has been called. Yeah, it's definitely been called. Lau is standing in a very, very safe location right now. He's just going to get spammed out a little bit from the top area right now. Nothing really going. He's just going to peek, and they're going to butt heads, waiting for this sniper to make a play or die, I guess, here, Michael.
Yeah, I think they're just... I don't know. I think the thing that's more odd here is not even the sniper on Granary. It's the fact that they've had the soldier go off on the sniper. Like, Granary is a very soldier-centric map, right? So much height, especially on this point where, you know, I mean, NoG, they don't want to get pushed, so you've got one player holding the flank, and it would normally make more sense for a soldier to just solo hold that kind of, you know, death corner area. But you're going to see Hertz move over.
If there is a player to snipe on that team, you want it to be Hertz. Hertz has some absolutely crazy aim. There's no one else I would put on sniper over Hertz, apart from maybe Doge on that team. And, you know, he's a soldier as well, so they come up on against the exact same conundrum. But yeah, I would definitely rather see the sniper coming out of Hertz here than anyone else. Scout just being way too powerful to give up. And if you're stalemating, you're not going to do anything anyway, and it just means that he's going to scope in at a choke rather than jump through a choke and die. I think it gives you the same situation, as he's just going to hard scope in this, seeing if anyone can make a mistake, and that is the mistake. Redcoat getting 2 with the trap, Cookie and Doge both dying, and they are flooding into this midpoint now as the red team is forced to back all the way out. Hertz takes a lot of spam and does manage to fall. Elmo pushing his luck just a little bit in there. Oh, but the sniper comes into play and absolutely body shots the demo down, and they're going to let this midpoint fall, but it looks like they're going to try to take a trade here as they are demoed down. Lau milking this so hard. Oh, no. Silvo, don't beef like this. Lau takes 4 points of damage in that entire scout solo.
What am I watching?
Absolutely fucked Elmo at the end of that fight too. This is just some absolutely crazy play. Sticky's just now being cleared in garage. Lau keeps his Uber. Down gets domed as well. Hertz is in such a meme location. See, this is why I was saying get Hertz to snipe. He does get cleaned up as he goes for that hero shot, and the Uber is now moved in through the Z area. Lau not actually taking too much damage either, and they opt to trade in on them. Enrith and Cookie both going down. The gun is up on last though, so that's going to stunt their push in. They're not able to follow up onto Locke, who now has about 70% ad, I should say, but they do get this second point here. Their demo man respawns, and this is a pretty good point to hide in some meme location and try for a back cap. How do you think Red needs to push out of this to minimize any chance of that happening, Michael?
I think NoG, they need to bury the Silver Docs of about a minute ago and have them hit some shots. I think Lau will be happy with that one, taking 4 damage in the Uber as you've got NoG slowly pushing this point out here. Happy Feet want nothing to do with it. They're coming up on their own Uber in a few seconds here, so... But actually, you've got NoG.
They're actually pushing through yard. Yeah, really aggressive through Z into yard here. The trade does come out. Redcoat is taking a lot of ground. Unfortunately, he's not dealing a lot of damage. Missing some pipes as he looks like he's actually going to get caught in. Yeah, he surely dies here. He lives. What? Elmo distracting long enough, but Aisho and Lau both die to Enrith and Sicko mode, which is Silverdox on the flank there. Looks like Down is going to die too, and this post Uber is absolutely terrible on the side of Happy Feet, and that was really, really well played on the side of NoG there, Michael.
Yeah, I don't know, just they had such a good Uber there, right? They traded it, they didn't get pushed too far out of yard, and then you just got stuck in that connector area between the two sides of yard. Ate way too much damage from both ends and just ended up falling back, but they're going to mount a counter defense onto mid here.
Dies again, Lau dies again, some nice pipes coming in from Enrith. This is an absolute collapse. I think this is a misplay from Redcoat in particular, being so far forward that the collapse just comes in and they wipe Happy Feet. Looks like they're going to get second for absolutely free as Redcoat is the only one. He doesn't even get forward spawn actually. He is spawning up on last and he's the only one. This second is so free right now as we do see Aisho coming up on the engineer. Maybe too little too late as the gun is probably not even going to get time to get past level 2. The point is capped and it looks like they're ready to push this into last here, Michael.
Yeah, they're still taking a little bit of time on the side of NoG, making sure they don't get caught out by anything stupid, mainly the sniper coming out on Elmo here, as you know, Locke doesn't like to drop to idiots, and Elmo being far from one. He is a prime target for dropping Locke, and you can see him. Locke being very slow here. We'll use the Uber early so he can't get dropped, and you get players pushing across the point to try and take out this gun. It will fall right as this Uber's fading, and that's all they got with it, so they're just going to have to fall back here.
Down's timing just then was so perfect. Jumping in on the point, Aisho is going to finish off Locke as he does hit his kill bind at the end there. Does still get hit with that 15-second respawn though, and that is... yeah, excellent timing coming in from Down as he jumps from the upper area onto the unflash players on point, manages to get a scout and a demo, damages the med down so hard that he has to kill bind at the very end. And this is now full ad as they are heading in towards mid. Looks like they're going to try to push this through the garage area. Sniper is up actually on Silverdox as he is in the forward spawn. Oh, he gets seen by Elmo. Elmo looks like he's going to get caught forwards. He does actually, and the Silverdox sniper... he's not back spawning. He's taken so much damage, but he's not back spawning. Finally, he does. He's taking so many eyes off. Hertz jumping really, really far forward. Yule is desperately in need of an arrow right now, and so is Redcoat. Oh, Yule does clean up Hertz as he is overstaying his welcome just a little bit too much. That actually worked out for them really, really nicely as they do manage to get that without using their Uber at all, and they are rushing this forward right now into the yard area. The Ubers are very, very close to even, but it looks like they could catch them out. If they push through Z right now, they could catch people. Looks like they are opting to wait out here. I think they assume that it's even right now. The back cap actually coming in. Hertz and Sicko mode are both in the rear. Nice rockets coming in. Unfortunately, no midi hit on Hertz. Ubers are now even as the second point is being played despite those two players distracting behind quite a lot. Aisho playing this point really, really well, and this is Yule coming in, playing up top, seeing if he can bring some players out to fight him right now. Elmo trying to push up top as well, seeing if he can get some of these players to make a move. But this is actually a stalemate reset now, having actually muscled their way into second here, Michael.
Yeah, I think NoG, they tried to get cheeky there on the midpoint. They actually sent those players back to try and stop the cap. 2 players through Zed, but Elmo got there just in time to help out Down, who was forced to do the bitch work, as they say, capping on mid as the soldier. Got NoG trying to take that back at their second point here. Enrith, Doge, and Cookie all getting forward with Lock here. But, I don't know, they're just going to do some spam. Aisha will get dropped in this Uber. I think Doge will get let out. He'll be fine. But actually, Cookie will die. Both scouts and the combos just
Lock is taken so low, he drops!
No,
Lock,
what are you doing?
You use there! You do use their Lock. Oh no!
Hey, at least it was to Elmo.
Yeah, the gun actually does force them to stop pushing this. Hertz was up on Spy before. Looks like he's gone back to Soldier, as they are forced to play this as like a 50% disad last hold, as that really unfortunate drop to Lock, Lock I should say. As you say, he doesn't use to idiots there, and he definitely should have used to that idiot. There's no way he doesn't get forced. Like that was a bit of a Lock moment, I feel, Michael.
Yeah, just a little bit, you know, almost by definition. And you know, 40% Uber advantage coming out on Happy Feet here. They know where the gun is. It hasn't been moved. And
do they know Hertz is sniping though? It looks like they're going to have to force through if the sniper has been called. They do use through. Actually, the sniper has been called. The fight is happening. Doge is actually fighting from upper, but the player on point is not contested at all. The flash comes in a little bit too late. But there is too much time on the point for NoG to do anything about, and that is the first round falling to Happy Feet, Michael.
Yeah, 10 minutes in, pretty slow game so far, as, you know, Happy Feet finally managing to close it out, but I think just, like, Lock, man, you can't be doing that. Can't be doing that. This is a third place game. This is a grand final. There is something after this if you win. As Redcoat's opted to go up top on the mid here. He's eating a little bit of damage early, but he'll retaliate on to Enrith.
Oh, the crossbow.
Ooh, Hertz dying early there. First loss of the mid as Doge gets quite low, trying to counter the bomb from Yule, who will get healthy again. Silver and Down falling on the red side of mid as NoG, they're just going to get pushed out into their own death corner. Cookie and Lock actually staying in a little bit, but they'll back out. And that'll be a second mid going in the favor of Happy Feet.
Yeah, Enrith should have died so much earlier to those soldier bombs. He got juggled up into the air and hit, but the second before the midi hit him, he got arrowed by his medic, and the same thing happened to Yule. He got midied and then the arrow hit him before he could die from fall damage. It's just such a pain. Why does the crossbow exist? It's so bad.
It's brilliant, honestly. It makes every class better. Medic's fun, and then Heavy is just so strong.
Heavy is so good. I think they definitely need to make the Brass Beast take less heals from the crossbow while spun up. If you take less damage while spun up, it's only fair.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine. You're slow, obviously. That's how it's balanced. Make the fat man fatter.
We do see this even Uber stalemate out on second though, as the fight seems to be pushing through the lunchbox area right now. Lots of spam. Down actually
Doge,
does
he's in a
lose.
great position here. He's cleaned up 3 on the flank by himself.
Doge, that's a big Willy Doge moment, as he does clean up the entire flank, and Lau, Redcoat, and Aisho all forced to flee with their tail between their legs. Looks like they're going to stay forward as their spawns come in. It looks like they're going to try to trade on this point. The trade has come out with Redcoat. Enrith has actually forced to flash a couple of times here. Hertz is fighting the flank. Looks like he's going to take out Yule too, but he does die. Nice pipe from Redcoat to take out Sicko mode as well. Actually, no, Hertz does still live. He is on 27 health. I assumed he would die. And yeah, they just overstayed, traded, and got an unfavorable fight here. Hertz is actually in such a good spot right now. Oh no, he gets cleaned up. Rocket and meat shot exactly the same time. That could have been such a Chad play from Hertz. Unfortunately, it gets cleaned up into the Virgin sack. But that's all you get as these Ubers are pretty much even, about 15% on Lau. Looks like they're trying to muscle a little bit forward. Looks like the damage coming in though is going to stunt this a little bit. I don't know if they're going to make something of this, Michael, as it looks like it's just going to stalemate out again here.
Yeah, I don't think too. Happy Feet, you know, the core of that team, they like to just be in the driving seat, right? Then they don't matter, they don't care. It doesn't matter to them if they have 15% advantage or if they have 50% advantage. They just like to, they'll give up the ad if it means that they take the fight that they want in a minute and a half's time. As you're seeing that exactly here, Locke will, you know, he'll get his Uber. Not a problem there. They won't send someone the Force just yet. Give it another minute or so and you might see something come in from down as he actually gets a kill onto Silvo quite early, and right as he went to go in, Hertz is there meeting him. So Elmo will do the sack instead, but actually Cookie
but it
and
looks
Enrith.
like there's so much damage coming in. Redcoat pushes it as well. Lots of damage onto the Medic and Demo and Scout there. The combo all just taken down super, super low. Unfortunately, nothing falling from them as Elmo may opt to come up and off class here. Couple of seconds to his spawn as we do see them just butting heads again. Doesn't seem to have come up anything, just spawning Scout right now as they look like they're going to try to push this onto mid. They're going to see if they can get some kind of pick like they did before. Down has been very, very successful of that on the flank before. Looks like they're going to try to do the same thing, and that is Hertz sacking in. Nothing going for him, being followed up by Doge. A little bit more damage onto Lau, but he's still in no real danger as two soldiers die. Looks like the trade is going to be forced out on mid. Cookie trying to meet them here. He's calling for the Uber, it looks like right now, but they opt to back out instead. Looks like, oh, Yul gets dropped in this fight for a nice pipe from Enrith. Enrith now walking backwards, and all of the positioning is on the side of red team right now. Aisho looks like he's going to get cleaned up, but no! The scout rather, in Elmo come in, and the true trades do come in a little bit too late. Aisho dies. Oh no, this is disastrous.
Oh, the pipe!
Oh my god. Lau forced to run with his tail between his legs. He does meet up with his spawner now as they are still running back to last. The fight has been won, it looks like, by red team, but not by much as Lau is still alive with about 50% add onto Locke right now.
Yeah, I know. I think Happy Feet, they'll be happy with that one. They might call that a win for themselves. They don't lose any points. They didn't have mid to begin with there, and they, you know, come out of it with about a 30% Uber advantage that they will more than likely look to push here. As you've got Hertz going behind again, but he'll get caught in Zed. Free pick for down there. As you got 75% coming up on the side of Happy Feet. They will look to push this forward, both soldiers coming from the Gary area. They'll see the only other soldier up top, and that is going to make Happy Feet very confident to try and take this kill. And yeah, they'll actually rotate around. They'll rotate their players through mid to the DC and push the other players back around through Gary. Free midpoint.
Yeah, that was really nicely played. They faked that DC to make the soldier jump into it, and then they flanked and killed him to just secure that mid. Soldier in, Yul gets anti-aired so hard and does die. It looks like the counter-sack is going to come in through, looks like it's trying to come in from sicko mode. Unfortunately, nothing going for him. These Ubers are still even, and they're just butting heads right now. Hertz is in deep. Nice rocket onto Lau. Lau uses there in the end, but Locke drops to Down. Down playing so well this game. Locke does his second drop, and I've already nearly finished my bottle of Locke Drops juice. Hope you're all playing the Locke drinking game with me right now, as Locke does hit himself with a really fat respawn. Looks like second is going to fall off the back of that as well here, Michael.
Man, I feel sorry for anyone participating along with you. More than likely dead right now as it's his second drop for the map. That's... Ugh. Locke will be feeling that one as they're on about a 40% Uber disadvantage here. Sentry and the Heavy coming up. You got the beautiful brass beast coming out on the Russian man.
Hootus.
Oh, pow, as he loves to say. Down, and Doge will trade some damage right before this Uber charge coming in. It looks like they're going to bring it from the top. You got your Happy Feet positioning themselves up there as they've got the Uber now. And yeah, they're going to bring this through up top, try and meet the Heavy head on. So it might be the best way to deal with them, honestly.
Aisho's going to get dropped here. He now needs so much of this Uber at the very end. The gun only just goes down. Hootus is so low. Crossbow exists, which is so bad. Down is on really low health. Crossbow back up to over half again. Hertz is super low. Looks like he's going to actually not eat a crossbow from his medic. He opts to die, and the counter Uber gets used, and they collapse on the blue team so hard. Lao left so much before they even used Uber. Really nice play from Lao here. Looks like he's going to meet all of his players at the forward spawn now. Hertz trying to come in there really quickly. Forward spawn gets denied. Oh no, they all came out the other side. I was looking at the wrong forward spawn. That's why I didn't understand what was happening there. This is why I cast and don't play the game. But yeah, we do see all the spawns coming up on the side of blue team, and they are holding this mid. Pretty much even Ubers thanks to the survival there of Lao. Frags coming in, Hertz trading, but Enrith does go down. That's a much bigger pick than Elmo losing his life there. Looks like they could grind this up now, and they might be able to take a trade before Enrith spawns, but it looks like, yeah, they are going to try for it. Not quite sure. No, they aren't going to try for it. They're just going to spam forwards a little bit. Nothing going. Enrith spawn and Elmo spawn both comes up. Yule actually goes in, sees if he can get something done. Unfortunately, nothing going for him right there as the blue team is forced quite far back here. Cookie dies. He takes so much damage on that flank, and then down cleans him up. Hertz dies as well as the spam is getting traded really hard. The soldier is actually behind in down. He's trying to pull some players back, tempting them with the point play. Looks like they're just going to reset on mid right now. 2 players down for each team. Spawns pretty much at the same time for each of these teams right now. Down behind, seeing if he can get something done. Looks like he will lose that duel to Silverducks in the rear there. Down a really late death, unfortunately. Looks like they're going to see if they can take a trade on this, actually. All of the scouts are in. Yule taking actually a really aggressive trade. That's Silverducks dying. Looks like he's going to jump forward, see if he can get anything. Just some damage. Unfortunately, nothing, because the crossbow exists. And it looks like he's running backwards. Now, unfortunately, unable to do anything except live, as the full Uber ad on the side of Locke is just now popped. Down and Yule both die for that as well. Looks like the scout is in the behind as well, taking some duels as well. This is not the time you want to die, Elmo. Really late death from Elmo there too, as no one on the side of NoG dies. This is where you want to be if you are on them. You can try to take this second point before the Ubers get into play and force them to trade this second point and hopefully go for some kind of back cap play while the fight is happening on second. This is pretty good situation, and it's the best situation we've seen for them so far in terms of trying to convert it into a round here, Michael.
Yeah, I think Happy Feet, I think they're fine with that last exchange, honestly. They keep the Uber ad out of it, they give up mid, but sure, you know, they have the advantage in this fight. They're going to push out far right their side through the shutter door. NoG seeing that, are going to back out. Elmo will push up to pretty close to Gary, as the rest of NoG will fall out Death Corner. And again, I think we're just going to see more Happy Feet funny business, sitting in yard, giving up Uber advantage again, just taking the game at their own pace. You know, they're up 1-0, it's Granary. It's a slow map, baby. You can sit an engineer and a heavy on last, and they will just stop last push after last push after last push. As, yeah, they're just happy to be up in this situation.
Yeah, I feel that it was a little bit of a misplay to not play super aggressive in the off-Uber situation by Locke and Enrith's team just there. I keep forgetting team names, you'll have to forgive me. It does actually, this is sicko mode. This is the spy coming up here has actually been spotted by Elmo. Elmo's not going to have anything. Elmo actually almost loses that duel to the spy behind on second there. And while that's been happening, it looks like the middle point has just been poked a little bit by Aisho. Nothing going for him there, as it just seems to be a sack. 2 sacks actually. Hurts feeding a little bit at the end there. That's not what you want. This is where that trade is going to come in. Trade is through. Stickies are dead. Actually, nothing gone for them as the trade is now coming in. Soldiers are in such a good position from red team. Oh, the rockets are raining down on Locke. Locke doesn't use. No one uses there. That was such a peak trade situation, but Lao drops everyone and they opt not to use, and Aisho and Lao just back out to last. What happened there, Michael?
I don't know that it's even a drop. I think it just like really early in that fight there, Aisho and Lao, they just decided to book it. They were not feeling that fight. They'd rather play the last tier and they'll get their way, but really early cap time coming out. Lao having to use seemingly for nothing. They'll get kills on the soldiers of NoG, but without the Force, that means absolutely nothing. They need to push this second, get this cat before the forward spawns come in, which at this point won't be possible. And yeah, it looks like, oh no, okay, Cookie will die, Locke will not get baited into using there, he will be in a safe enough position to wrap back around and plan this repush with his team, but I think, you know,
Doge
the more
dies
and
to
more
a trap
time...
there as well. Doge trying to open that shutter and just insta-dying to some stickies. The Uber is up now. Enrith gets dropped. This is absolutely disastrous if you are NoG right now. The soldiers are coming in and the Force comes out too. Locke finally forces to a sack instead of dropping. And we do see the Uber do absolutely nothing as it's about 90% on Lau right now. And they are very, very comfortably holding this second point. Some spam coming through. Looks like Hertz is trying to cheese something in the drop-down slash lunchbox area. He gets caught out. Some excellent coordinated flank play there from Yule and Elmo. And they're forced to back all the way out. And this is full ad from Lau.
Like, Happy Feet, they have their finger on the pulse of this game. You know, you see the, you know, plays coming out in the moment, and you think they might be a little bit questionable as Lau does get forced there by Doge coming in, but they'll use this just to take mid. But yeah, I know, they're just like, they're always, it feels like they're always playing a step ahead, right? Maybe they're not necessarily, but the way that they're playing and the way that these plays end up turning out for them feels like they are, right? They're making decisions that are not necessarily bad decisions that turn into good plays in a minute or so's time, and I think that's one of the big things.
And you see the sack coming in while there's still players down, and Locke gets forced, but way too many people die for that sack. That's 3 down, and Elmo caught behind. This is not the best force that we could have seen here. Looks like Elmo is going to get chased down. I don't see him getting any frags here on such low health versus the scout. Yeah, Silvo does clean him up. Mid falls to NoG right now, and that was just a little bit of a misplay, sacking just too many people for that Uber force. It was the right play in going down, like going in for the sack while there were players down, but sacking 4 people for that, including Elmo, like 20 seconds after the entirety of the rest of his team, is not what you want to see there. But they do have about 10% ad. I reckon they're just going to call it even right now. As Lau did have to run without building for quite a while, as these Ubers both come up right now for both teams. Looks like they're just going to see if they can butt heads on this stalemate. With about 4.5 minutes left, the ball is definitely in NoG's court. How do you want to see the Hertz team push and break this stalemate, Michael?
I think they just, I think they need to do just like a pretty standard scout demo push, honestly. I think they need to use their strengths, you know, kind of bring in that main, just battering ram through the main area of the map or wherever they want to do it, and abuse the fact that Happy Feet will more than likely neglect their flanks a little bit. Happy Feet have been bleeding players quite a lot this game into the flank.
Oh, as you say, the flank bleeds again. That was some really nice aggression as Redcoat had no stickies down, I think, there, or at least didn't have stickies down in the right place. They got blasted away. That 1 pick on the pocket, 2 picks actually going down, Elmo dying as well. But again, 2 picks coming in really quickly on the other side. The crossbow keeping Aisho in the fight. No, just too little too late. He does get cleaned up. This is really nice position to be in if you're NoG right now, as they are opting to get their demo man just to spam the point while the players are down, see if they can get something in. Looks like they're opting to play it super safe. They don't want to give anyone the opportunity to repush this, Michael.
Yeah, I think they're just... It's just going to be a slow grind for NoG to push through the last. Happy Feet at this point, you know, they're not going to push through unless they have a very free push down, holding down the shutter very well, getting some damage onto Silvo and Hertz before they have to back up. And yeah, Lau's in a position to just be ready to trade. And they're not trying to force anything, but he's put himself in a really good position with the rest of his team to just be ready to walk in, Uber on the point if they feel that NoG's done a bad job of pushing in. And it's going to be on NoG to make something happen here. 3 minutes left, they're down 1-0, and they're down a map. If they lose this round or they fail to get one, then they're gone. 3rd place is theirs, and Happy Feet will go to the grand final as NoG, they're slowly pushing through the shutter. Enrith taking a good bit of ground, and this might be the opportunity that they have to push. Damage getting done on the flank, because yeah, you got the Uber coming in.
Dropped. That's really nice from NoG, as they do force the drop on the demo from Lau. They do flash a couple of times though, as the Uber is ever so slightly better, but the positioning is all theirs in the post fight. Looks like Aisho is forced to back all the way out. Some arrows coming in from Lau to keep his soldiers in the fight too, but they're playing the point so aggressive. Scouts dying, Lau eating a lot of of damage here, and the stickies coming in from Enrith. That's the hero play that they need. Saw coming in from Locke. Locke is going to stand on the point. Elmo's forced to do anything, but it's too little too late, and they finally equalize it up. 2 minutes left. This looks like it could very well go to a golden cap, Michael.
Quite possibly. Locke just pulling it all out there. He, you know, whatever it was, he felt the need to go a bit of the battle medic. You know, get the train going in the pubs. Choo-choo, as he'll bring his team to an equalizer round there. And Enrith is a lot faster on mid than Redcoat here. But it won't necessarily mean anything for the damage, as they'll trade about evenly. As Redcoat and his team, they're going to push pretty hard down the left-hand side. Yule will die early, so will Down, and Dechi Down will give a saw.
Redcoat jumping in too. There was, yeah, it looks like there was just a lot of disconnect from blue team on that mid. Looks like Lau and Redcoat rolled out slightly different ways. Redcoat waiting for an arrow that never came. He was forced to stand in a pretty bad position and eventually get spammed out pretty late. Lau does live at the very end of that, but yeah, just that disconnect from the heals on that mid is what cost them. Soldiers jumping in, unfortunately getting nothing, and that saw coming out. Looks like they are just waiting for it to even up. Hertz coming in for a little bit of a sack here. Yule gets taken down super low at the very end. Cookie and Doge both die, as well as Hertz. That's some really, really nice play coming out to save this last. Lau does get quite a bit of damage put into him, but he does not force at all, and the trade is now coming out on point. Looks like a little bit of a better trade from blue team right now, as red team is forced to flee just a little bit. The soldiers, Yule in really, really aggressive, eats a fat pipe from Enrith and does get cleaned up, but not before taking him with him. Yule and Aisho both dying. Some nice damage coming in onto the scout there. Aisho getting absolutely owned just then. Stickies on the point actually doing quite a bit of damage as Hertz does die. Elmo coming in really clutch and keeping some players in there. Down dies. I'm not sure if Locke got a saw on him there too either, but it's pretty much even Ubers right now. 3 players down on the side of blue team. They're definitely going to try to muscle it. This is Doge jumping in, playing the point, trying to force the distraction. Scout takes a lot of damage, but it's too little too late. It looks like Doge dies, but the trade has come out. Looks like the stickies are now coming in, trying to play these players on point. Hertz coming does too much damage. Stalemate's out. Too little too late. They could not quite get the presence that they needed. And we do indeed go to a golden cap on our second map here, Michael.
I think, yeah, Happy Feet, they were in control for what felt like most of that game. I want to see more of that control come out in this golden cap. If they want to close it out in 2 and just, you know, look to secure that spot nice, easy breezy in the grand final, then they just need to tidy themselves up just a little bit here, maybe watch out a bit more for what NoG can pull out, because they are certainly a, you know, very high-skilled team getting to 3rd place. That's no bad shout, but I know Happy Feet, even dropping that round, you know, that second round was like 20 minutes long.
I feel like the only reason that they lost that was Locke dropping to that scout in his face. Like you fear at this level of Prem. These scouts aren't missing, apart from, of course, Silverdox at the start. Looks like I think he was trying to do what Lau did and milk the Uber for all it's worth. But when you're on 20 health, that scout hits that. When you're on 150, you don't fear that scout. He has to hit one shot on you before you even think about clicking that right mouse button. But yeah, I think they only lost because Locke dropped. Like, I feel that was the only mistake that they really made that led to them losing that round. So if you're, for example, if you're Happy Feet here, how do you approach this mid-fight to ensure that you take this in the clean 2-map series? Because everything as for them rides on this map unless they want to take it into Snakewater, Michael.
Yeah, I think Redcoat probably needs to... I don't know, he needs to change the way he plays mids just a little bit, right? I think that last mid in particular, I feel like Happy Feet wanted to do something there, but Redcoat ended up in a really awkward position, separated from Lau by the crates, so that he just couldn't walk forward. He was doing it fine in the first 2 mids. I think they just need to go back to that. You know, I think there's no problems with the way that they were playing mids and the way that they were playing all of these fights in between. They just got caught off guard by a few little plays. Maybe be a bit stricter on the flanks. Like, they were bleeding players a lot, especially whenever they were holding yard. People were getting in left and right all they wanted and just toying with Happy Feet from behind.
Yeah.
That's I know they're still playing really clean TF2, right? Like, the situations they're losing are not necessarily to their own fault. It's things that, you know, not many people can stop, that are just plays that NoG are pulling out.
Yeah, and I feel it does come down, you know, Hertz on the flank. He just is such a smart player, to be honest, and he will take really, really good fights, but that is actually being mirrored really, really well by Down. I think Down is having a great game tonight. He is doing so well as the counter flank player. He is catching out Hertz as he tries to jump behind. He is also managing to bomb really, really fast in these mids and get the picks that he needs to. I think every single time that he's traded out, it has been a pretty damn favorable trade. As we do, is this? No, they tricked me. They unreadied. We don't quite have our golden cap of the second map just yet. But yeah, I feel like the soldiers in Down and Hertz are both pulling their weight on the flank really, really well. I'm really keen to see what they can bring to the table in this mid, because I think this mid will decide a lot. It's going to be quite passive. They don't want to lose Lau or Lock, depending on what team you are. They don't want to throw their medic away, because that will just so quickly sort of snowball into being around. And you know, this round is essentially, if Happy Feet win it, they're definitely a guarantee to second place at the very least, and they get to rematch against Butterfly Effect in the grand final.
Yeah, I think that they want their chance of that, but you know, NoG, they're going to try and give them a run for their money. As yeah, I think I want to have I'm going to quickly have a look at these logs. It does seem like the teams are taking a little bit of a break between maps, or well, between halves rather. Let's have a look. Let's see if there's anything that stands out in this granary log. And you know what? Nothing really in particular.
I feel that Silvo is still not doing super well. He definitely did better, apart from, of course, the solo Uber onto Lau that we're being mean to him about. He definitely did better that game. I feel that he got more frags and was playing much more sensibly with Hertz on the flank. But I think Yule, being such a good playmaker for his team, and Down, of course, just really let them in there. Yule and Down both had really fantastic timing in multiple different situations there that I think really helped them take these fights. But it wasn't a scout game. It really wasn't a scout game. I think the only scout who got more than 200 DPM was Aisho, going 21-10, playing actually pretty damn well. Better stats than Cookie even there. So Cookie, Elmo, and Silvo were all below 200 DPM. But we do see the ready up on this golden cap right now. Who are you watching on this mid, Michael?
I'm watching Down and Hertz, without a doubt. I think this mid could come down to either one of them doing some sort of nutty play. But it doesn't look like either one of them is going particularly speedy right now. Down making some plays along his own bottom left side. Doge going for a very high bomb. Oh, but Yule, he's landed right on top of Lock. 2 rocket cities down. And that is a very commanding, play for Happy Feet there, as Lau is going to surf around on the height. Hertz will get him. Oh,
Lau moved so well up until that nice rocket from Hertz cleaning him up. That Xeno onto Lau was not quite enough. He did his best to live there, but there was just too many players. The height, I think, that he was playing was really good there, but his team unfortunately dropped off just a little bit, and that gave Hertz the opportunity that he needed. Both meds dying here does translate into a little bit of ad for Lock here, as he did die right at the start from Yule of this mid, and they do see some off Uber pushes actually coming in. It looks like they're trying to get this second point presence before the Ubers come into play. Down does lose his life to Hertz on the flank there. Looks like they're trying to push out a little bit. Hertz and Silvo on the flank. Actually, the whole combo rotating to the flank there. Enrith walks into a sticky trap and dies. The scout is forcing everyone back there. Cookie dies as well. The point pressure from Happy Feet here is so immense. The Uber is just now used, excellently milked from Lau here, as the Uber is so much better. And it's just Silvo and Lock. Lock dies here. Silvo looks like he's going to get cleaned up. Redcoat is caught. That is actually so disastrous. Redcoat gets caught. They do back out and cap this up. Looks like they're going to play the about 50 to 60% ad. This is going to set up for Lau, but that was some really good off Uber pushes that's moved into that trade eventually here, Michael. This is some really exciting gameplay coming out of Happy Feet. This is what you want to see at the high end of Australian TF2 right now. The gun does come up from, I think that's Silvo on the engineer right now. No other off passes right now, as they are just waiting for this Uber ad push to come in. I'll let you take this. Could be the last push of our game here, Michael.
Yeah, quite possibly. Happy Feet coming up on the Uber charge, looking to come through the left side into last. All of their players coming out, not being forced until just now, where they get eyes on everything. Gun will go down quite low as Hertz will lose his life early. Silvo looking to swap back off onto the scout as the Heavy will go down as well. Happy Feet, they will swarm.
And the point gets played. That is GG being called in the chat. Some really excellent TF2 coming out of Happy Feet right there to secure themselves the spot in the ozfortress Season 27 Grand Final against Butterfly Effect. I assume that will be next week. That was some really great TF2, Michael.
Yeah, really. Man, I'm in love with watching Happy Feet play TF2. I know, man. They're good. They're really good. The way that they play themselves, the way that they just, like, position in fights and situations where they shouldn't have an advantage, they just end up in an advantageous position where they can turn a fight just like that. That second fight, rather, before the last push in that golden cap. Lao was not, they didn't have Uber, they had slight Uber disadvantage, but they pushed themselves into a position where Lao was safe for just enough time to get the Uber, use a lot later than Lock, and just push that through into second, into last, and ultimately win the fight. That will get them the game, as we do have some players coming in for interviews, it looks like.
Yeah, we have a couple of players coming in from Happy Feet, it looks like. Looks like we're going to wait just a second to get some players in from the Hertz team. But yeah, so looks like we may not. I'm not sure if they are not happy gamers or what. We'll see. I'll wait just a couple of minutes for some players to get together. If you are watching us from the Hertz team, please come in for a quick interview. That would be really cool of you. I have no idea if you're being messaged by Elmo or not right now, but I would love to have a quick interview with you guys. But yeah, we saw some excellent TF2 there, and I'm really keen to get some of these players, I guess, opinions on what happened. Can we get these two moved in, Connor?
You here?
Awesome. G'day. So we have Elmo and Redcoat Zygote joining us from the victorious team tonight. How are you two going?
Yeah, pretty good.
Pretty good, man. Better than between the golden cap and normal game.
Yeah, so it did ultimately go all the way to a golden cap at the very end there. I guess, oh sorry, we do have Silvo joining us. Is anyone else coming from your team?
Cookie is here.
Cookie's on the way. Cool. Can you drag Cookie in too?
Hi, Silvo.
Sup?
G'day, Cookie. How do you two feel after that game, Silvo and Cookie?
Yeah, it was an enjoyable game.
Yeah, it was actually quite fun, but a bit sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So I guess we'll ask some questions of the victorious team first. What did you do to prepare for this game? Did you guys have a warm-up scrim at all, or did you just come in blind into this game?
We went in dry.
I mean, we had our secret demo sessions with Paulson and Yukari all week, but yeah, apart from that, it was just MG before the game.
What did Yukari bring to the table today?
That's a secret, man. Secret Yukari strats, you know.
Last time we got a warm-up scrim, like Elmo was like crying about it because we lost that match.
No, because I'm tired, man. Some of us actually do stuff apart from eat food and fuck around during the day, you know, so I was tired. I get tired if we spend all day playing games, so...
Sure. And guess in terms of the map picks and bans, you all banned the Koth maps tonight. Was that just because you didn't want the wild card of the DM effect coming into Koth, or is it just you wanted something safer in the more tried and true 5 CP tonight? I
mean, we kind of just wanted safer. We knew we could win on 5 CP, and basically, like you said, we don't want to account for the DM retard effect. Basically means. Because Koth, half the time is just a big square DM box, so
yeah, I mean,
half the time just whoever turns up a bit more can just DM them. You just plus W.
Was that your thinking as well, Silvo and Cookie? I think you banned Bagel.
Yeah, we banned Bagel because we got absolutely rolled on it.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
literally
And the
like
map
the
shit as
only
well.
day we've ever
Yeah.
played Kothwell, though. So
Yeah, we played it awfully that day, but we were just like, no, we don't like Bagel. We didn't mind playing Via because we know we're pretty good on Via. Our coordination's pretty good, but we thought they would ban it as well. They've been banning it like all season.
can you guess
Yeah,
what we're
and
going to ban next week then?
Viaduct? You only get one ban next week, I'm pretty sure.
Really?
I think
Yes.
so.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
a
Best of 5.
It's a best of 5.
Yeah.
Surely you get more than one.
But there's 9 maps though, isn't
Oh,
there?
I don't know.
No,
I don't know. I
it's,
can't remember how it works.
one ban each, and then you pick 5 in a row.
I
Yeah,
see.
there you go.
Oh, right. So, okay. There you go. Well, I guess that brings us on to your preparation for next week. So you're having a rematch against Butterfly Effect. Going off the results of the upper page playoffs, what are you trying to change for your gameplay against them next week?
Well, we actually threw on purpose the other week because we just wanted to give them like some hope before we snuffed it out. So
And we
We'll
just
just-
wanted to make sure Cookie lost as well, you know? Couldn't let him back in the
Very
grand
rude.
final and hurts, you know?
yeah, we wanted the extra
Yeah.
practice this week, so we decided to give that to them at least.
Sure, and I guess coming into the actual games that we did play tonight, I was particularly impressed by the soldier play on both teams. In particular, Down and Yule playing really, really well for you guys. Is your soldier aggression something that you work on regularly, or is it just a simple matter of Down going, I can do the fast riot rollout and I'm going to frag lock instantly and tilt him for the rest of the game?
No, that's my call. I always I'm famous
What
for
do you
my...
mean, cunt? You didn't even want a double bomb.
No, man, are you talking about my gully wash like hydrogen bomb mid, aren't you?
I thought he meant the last mid where Locke got owned
Insta
by
kills,
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it happened. So the very first mid of Gully Wash, Locke got absolutely crushed
Yes,
by
that's
Down,
me.
and then Locke got absolutely crushed by Yule on the last map of Granary. Seems like your play is tilt Locke and make him drop for silly things.
I mean, it's the best strat. Like, it never fails. Like, tilt the medic, win the game. Works with both Doge and Locke, you know?
Locke wasn't tilted per se, but
It's
yeah.
the mental effect. It doesn't... even if he's not visually, like, outwardly tilted,
Yeah,
you know,
but
it's in the back of your mind.
he's used to being dead like 80% of the game anyway.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
It's
I
so-
guess.
like we
Speaking of,
expected the
But it extends to you, though, normally, you know?
Nah, I expected to now, dude.
That's fair. Growing accustomed.
Nah, we thought you were gonna
The,
go aggro on the last mid of Grand, but we just suck.
Yeah, we were debating Redcoat bombing as well, to be
You-
honest.
Well,
You didn't
we're
pull it
Super
out
yellow.
once.
Oh
What
man,
triple
no,
bomb,
we fucking
Redcoat, what are you
tried
doing?
to, but Lau doesn't know how to arrow me. I don't know if the
Oh my-
class saw it, but I literally
Yeah,
was
there
like
was that-
waiting for like 7,000 centuries to get an arrow, and then like by that point our soldiers were dead, and I just like
Yeah, it was. I think
Pathetic.
you both rolled out the same way. You're expecting him to roll out DC, I think. and
no,
he
I
was
wasn't.
on-
I rolled out and didn't want to like take any early damage. Like I wanted to get a crit heal so I could be buffed to jump, and I like went onto the little crate so I could get healed. I suppose like he didn't know that, to be fair, but it was like yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
and I guess the only other thing I really want to talk about is your solo Uber there, Silvo, against
Oh.
Lau.
Nobody wants
How-
to watch
how-
that again, man.
How do you feel about that one, my man?
Just a bit of beef there.
Someone.
I'm sure that it has been clipped. That was, I think he took 4 damage in that.
Jesus
in that Uber.
Christ,
Oh,
Wait,
man.
was that the one in the end?
No,
In-
it's the one at
no,
mid
I-
sometime.
Yeah, it was when you
Granary.
guys backed out of mid, and it ended up in an even Uber stalemate, and you went for the trade, and Lau just wiggled and took 4 damage from an entire
Oh,
clip
dear.
of pistols. And
That's
a
cheating,
shotgun.
man.
Man.
Yeah,
So
Lau
that's
was
what happens
beasting.
when I die.
That was honestly
Yeah.
beasting tonight, no meme. He was like hitting
After
a
all
lot of-
your tough love.
Yeah,
yeah,
after the whole season 25.
like
I mean, it's like
Yeah.
Puglau. You just
he
have
responds.
to abuse him.
Yeah, he responds
until,
well
like-
to abuse.
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
like it fuels him.
No way you hit him with the heal him like you heal Silvo.
Dude,
Not
you
that
know,
again.
you know that's literally something that we said, like with him and when Aishu, like we literally.
It's not even a meme, Silvo. Legitimately, we told him play like you play when you pocket silver when pugs with ice shower. Just pretend he's silver.
It works.
And I bet that got him all hot and bothered as well, and he played his best.
Yeah, well, I guess that brings us on to next season. So you guys placed third this season, which is, of course, a very good result considering the competition at the top of Prem this season. Do you guys plan to stick together for next season, or do you have plans for next season at all?
When was the last time you lost, Cookie?
Fucking season 22,
5
bro.
seasons, bro. He's won like 5 in a row.
God,
Wait, what
man.
team were you in season 22? Like the Red Coat team?
Yeah. Killer B? Wait, no.
No,
No,
it was
we won
Pencil
season
Case.
22.
It was Pencil Case. That was our first
So
season.
21, yeah. I
So
thought you
season,
won
season
22,
21
yeah.
was the last season I lost, but
That's what I
yeah, I'm
thought.
fucking old now, apparently. I'm glad you
Yeah.
regained yourself, Elmo, because you were...
Yeah, Elmo,
You were a bit
you
shit
played
last
really
season,
well
not gonna
tonight, I
lie.
think.
What do you mean last year? I was fine last season. I was shit for like 4 seasons in a row.
Yeah.
I was average last
No,
season.
you actually saved your team on Gully Wash.
You should all
had a
check
good last
Sean's
round.
stat bot if you want to really know the answer. Sean's
Yeah.
stats.
So Sean showed me the graph of my seasons, and it's like top level, and then it literally like hits rock bottom.
Is it as bad as Paulson's?
Yeah, it was. Like me and Paulson dropped it like literally the same time.
Oh.
But he's never recovered.
Elmo
Kept
just
dropping.
has the Valley of Death.
Did your one go straight back up after the season?
It went up a little bit last season, and then yeah, it's up this season.
Very nice.
Cool. Do you have any questions for our players tonight, Michael?
Nothing really, nothing else that's been said already. Just congratulations to both teams, and I mean, actually no, I've got one. Happy Feet, do you guys want to see Granary next week? That wonderful map in the grand finals.
It's actually not like it's normally like the opposite. Like Gran normally plays how Gully does in games. Like Gully's normally shit in games and good in scrims, while Gran is shit in scrims but good in games. That was probably like the slowest Gran game I've like ever played.
Why did you
Like
guys pick
I
Gully?
played so many like 6-all fucking 5-5 Gran games and officials, so that was like really weird.
We picked Gully because
Hydrogen.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Our picks were like we had no theory behind them. It was like we kind of felt okay on every map, but not like insanely dominant or insanely shit on any of them except for the Koth maps.
Sounds like our
Well, that's what we thought,
mentality
but
as well.
we assumed you just pick Snakewater.
I mean,
Nah.
Because it's
We've had shit snake
Yeah.
water results recently, man.
Yeah.
We've like lost our snake
I know.
power.
That's why I
Bring
was
back
hoping
the
you'd
Shack
pick Snake
Bomb.
first.
Rocky
You
and
need the
chat
Shack Bomb,
listening
Redcoat.
out to pick Snakewater next week.
Oh, it's fine. They'll be fine. It'll be pretty even. Like, we scrimmed Rocky's team just before tonight, and like 15 minutes
beasted
each
them,
map.
didn't
Yeah,
you?
we
Or
beat
you-
them both maps by 1 round, so it should be pretty close next week. It'll be good to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess that being said, unless there is any other questions, I think we might start trying to wrap things up a little bit here. Anything else to add, Michael?
No, that's it.
Awesome. Let's head on to some shout-outs. Let's just move down in alphabetical order here. Cookie, you have any shout-outs?
Shout out to my team, everyone watching, you guys for casting. Yeah.
Awesome. Elmo, you have any shout-outs?
Shout out to the boys, solid victory, and shout out Cookie's team. Bad luck, boys. Maybe next season Hertz will come first again. Who knows?
Never.
It might happen. He's won before, man. He's won before. He's a champion.
When we carried him, though.
Yeah, that's true.
He defeated the
suck,
almighty Varna Roma.
Redcoat, you have any shout-outs?
Shout out to my team and shout out to Alex.
Silvo, anything?
Shout out to my team and shout out to the Vanquish Circle Jerk.
All right. Michael, do you have any shout-outs?
Yeah, look, shout out to both teams for great games at TF2. Shout out to you, Xander, for co-casting with me tonight. Was good games. And shout out to Big Core on production, pulling everything together. Big guy, great guy.
Awesome. All right, shout out to both teams for playing tonight. It was some excellent TF2. I love seeing this kind of high-level TF2 still being played like so many years after its game's release. Bad luck, unfortunately, to NoG, but best of luck in the grand final next week. Happy Feet. I am going to definitely watch that one really, really closely. It's going to be a great game of TF2. We'll, of course, be bringing you a cast of that game on this very channel.
Cookie cast?
Yeah, I'm keen.
Cookie Hertz analysis, please.
Holy shit, it's epic.
I need that in my life.
We will try to organize something in that case. All right. Well, that about wraps it up for tonight. Thank you for tuning in to TF Live. Hope you all had as much fun as I did watching some fantastic TF2. We'll be back with the ozfortress Season 27 Grand Final next week. But other than that, I think we will see you then. And good night.